the 4-hour price chart for Meta Platforms Incorporated, stock ticker META. So as we can see here, the stock is rocketing higher. If you've been watching our prior videos, you would know that we did expect to see positive earnings releases this week from this company. This is something we've mentioned for quite a while here. A lot of the focus that Meta has been placing on itself has been on the AI space, the artificial intelligence space. The focus here is really starting to pay off in terms of share price action. This is a stock that has really fallen through the floor recently. We've been covering this quite extensively, and we have seen a fair amount of negative trading volume activity here. But as you can see here, our prior expectation, all these markings on the price chart, were present in the previous video. And as we can see here, this earnings figure did come in well above market expectations, and this did help to propel share prices higher. So I will be looking at some specific price levels in this video that can be used to construct trades here. We will be going over some of the specific earnings numbers so we can figure out why exactly this happened. To begin with, we can say that the earnings figure came in at $5.16 per share. This is far above. This blew the estimate out of the water. The estimate came in at $4.73 per share. So there's a massive difference here. And then in addition to that, the revenue figure also came in higher, at $39.07 billion for the quarter, against market expectations of $38.31 billion. These are massive beats here. And it's very clear that, in the earnings call and things like that, Meta did make it very clear that they're spending heavily on artificial intelligence and virtual reality products and processes. This is starting to excite investors after a prior period of decline. I mean, if you remember to a couple of quarters ago, Meta Platforms was actually punished for this type of outlook. But as we can see here, these expectations here and this focus here on AI is finally starting to pay off. We are getting a bit of an erratic price movement here within this trading session. But as we can see here, the expectation was for this number to come in higher than expected, and that is what happened here. So currently, if we're trading this, we do have a bit of a complicated situation here because not only did we gap higher, but we have a huge distance here between this open and the prior close. So specifically, this prior close came in at roughly 475, just above that figure, and we can see that this price gap extended all the way. This is more than $50 in price gap here. This is a major price gap. Because the open here came in above the $525 mark. We have since given back some of those gains, not totally surprising because this is a massive, massive jump here. And if we start to look at the trading volumes here, interestingly, we can actually see that they're negative rather than positive. So what I'm advising people to do here is to exercise a little bit of patience, and you have to wait for the dust to settle. But there will be opportunities here to start to buy the stock once again, once we fill in some of this price gap activity. To the downside, what I would really be looking for here, we have to, there is going to be some volatility here, and we really do need to wait for the dust to settle before pulling the trigger on specific trades. But, what I would be looking at first here would be a retracement back toward some of these exponential moving averages. You do inevitably, whenever you see a price movement like this, the moving averages tend to matter more than anything else because prices do tend to gravitate back toward that area. Currently, the uppermost exponential moving average on the hourly chart comes in just above 480, roughly 482.50. This is quite a distance away here. But at the moment, there's not much reason to believe that this $500 mark will be enough to support prices on its own, given the fact that we're seeing some increase in volatility here. And the reading in the relative strength index is starting to roll over out of overbought territory. I mean, it shouldn't be surprising at all that a movement like this would cause a stock to move into overbought territory. That's absolutely to be expected. So the question here is, how long is it going to take for the stock to sort of roll over out of these conditions? We're still in this overbought territory here, but we're starting to correct. Currently, we're right around 73, 74. in the relative strength index. So we only need to get back below the 70 mark in order to sort of normalize conditions and allow the market to sort of readjust itself at these higher levels. Overall, though, this does look like the stock is now becoming a buy on dips, whereas before this stock was completely collapsing. I mean, this was a major drop lower. And the current conditions here do complicate things for anybody that's looking to trade this stock, because as you can see here, the movement is higher, but what are the trading volumes telling you? The trading volumes are lower. They're negative. They're bearish. So what this does mean is that people are sort of taking profits at these highs. I think some investors are probably just happy to get out of this stock after all these massive declines that we're seeing previously. A lot of these declines were almost inexplicable. I mean, how can the market just reverse this quickly? With very little information other than one quarterly earnings figure. But if you were watching the prior videos on the stock, we were expecting for these earnings figures to come in better than expected. And if we look at some additional figures here, we can see that revenue guidance for the third quarter is now being seen within a range of 38.5 billion to 41 billion. Which makes 39.75 billion the middle of this range. And previously, the market was only expecting revenue guidance to come in at 39 billion. So overall, the expectations here were beaten. There's no question about that. The question at this point is just how far are we going to see prices sort of decline and retrace themselves here before stabilizing? So this is the real area. This is the real issue that we're going to be watching here. Because it is clear at this point that a lot of the market is sort of taking profits into these gains. Overall, the movement is positive, but the trading volume is negative. So that's a complicated picture, and it does make it difficult to start placing individual trades. First, I would probably be waiting for prices to decline to roughly the 490 level before pulling the trigger and getting long here, because I do think that we're going to break back below this $500 mark as the market just sort of continues to take profits, and and as this price gap is closed. This was more than a $50 price gap. The gap does need to be closed. So overall, these are the price levels that I'm watching, and here were the earnings figures that were released last night. It was a very strong beat. It was a very good number for Meta Platforms. So here's the current market update for Meta Platforms Incorporated, stock ticker META. Our high-value trading strategies membership is currently available for a limited time for only $9.99 per month. These high-conviction investment strategies are characterized by superior risk-to-reward metrics that target massive, market-beating returns over time. Join now to outperform the market. Lock in this special introductory rate of just $9.99 per month for the entire lifetime of your membership, and start trading stocks with the pros.